Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Cantrell Country Travelway Traveling Adventures. Welcome in my partner channel and friend Richard Blumencheese, and then
Yep.
of course our good friend and um, one of the special ladies of this community, Mama D. Hello, Debbie. Always good to see you here. Anyway, so how's everybody's week going? I hope everybody's doing good. How'd you
Yep.
how did well obviously Richard, we know how your week went, but tell us just
Yeah.
you know what, before we get into talking Fort Lauderdale on that, um, you know what, let's go ahead and start with Debbie. And how's your week going, Debbie?
It's going okay. It's going okay.
Going
Nothing
okay?
much.
Cool. Now and then Richard, um, how was your trip overall? I know we're talking about Fort Lauderdale
Yeah,
today,
we're
but
talking about Fort
you just came
Lauderdale.
off, you just came back from Milani, and I know everybody loves the Hawaiian Islands,
Alani.
and maybe you can just give an overall view of how things went and your visit to the island. And
It was pretty good. I did not have a car with me or try to rent a car either. Um, but so I stayed on the property all 4 days for Alani, and it was good. It was a lot of relaxation. First time there. Definitely trying to go back. I want to do some excursions from there to go towards other things on the island. So
nice.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
I
obviously,
loved it. Yeah, it was good.
yeah, with the pictures that I saw that you posted in
Oh
that
yeah,
and some of the things, I'm glad. I mean, I hate the, you know, my goal for next year was a cruise, but once I saw those pictures that you posted, and that my sisters are talking about wanting to go to Hawaii next year,
yeah.
as a they actually a lot said I could go with them, so
Okay,
that'll probably be my big trip for next year, Hawaii.
okay. You know what
So
island they want to go to?
actually, we're gonna probably go to the Big Island itself of Hawaii. We'll
Yes.
probably, and we may try to get over to Oahu and maybe do some overflights on some of the smaller islands.
Okay.
Maybe do air tours, but I think we want to go there and probably Oahu because with them, I'll say if you guys want to do an oversight, I'm going to fly over to Oahu and pay a visit to. I mean, obviously, as a naval reservist
Of
and spent 7
course.
years, I want to pay the respect
Pearl.
to the people of Missouri, the battleship Missouri, and
Yeah.
particularly
Pearl
Arizona.
Harbor. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but welcome. So it's good to have you back. We missed you all through the week.
Yeah.
We've had some good shows.
I've been trying to keep up with some of them, but hard to do that when I'm trying to
And I'll have
relax.
to ask you after. I was going to say, did you? I'll have to ask you if you caught the one that I did on Yosemite. That was a pretty good. Mike couldn't do it, so it was just to me pre-recording. It was actually a pretty good show,
Okay.
45 minutes, and it's actually going to be about a 2 or 3 part. So the second one part is going to be to let you guys remember. Don't forget Monday night pre-recorded shows, 5 p.m.
Yeah.
for the National Park Service. Hopefully, maybe Richard and Mike can join me this weekend when we do it. I'm going to try to keep the pre-recorded to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Richard, which I think is a good enough time to talk about it, but there was so much history and
Yeah.
rich. There's so much to the Yosemite National Valley.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, anyways, but now let's get back to our to me and Debbie's favorite state, the Sunshine State of
Florida. Don't go
Florida.
worry. I'm
And,
still trying to move over there.
and you will eventually.
I
But
will
now
eventually,
get
yes.
we will be getting there to Mama D's stomping grounds near Fort Lauderdale and Miami down in South Florida.
Yeah.
Yep, South Florida. Yep, Lauderdale. Well, basically, the most of it is the hopping place is really downtown Fort Lauderdale. That's
Yeah.
where you have all your beaches and your
Yep.
restaurants and great shopping. And I mean, you have stores like everywhere else, but downtown Fort Lauderdale is where that's where the people go. Go to
Okay.
bars, go to the and they want to go do whatever they want to do. Fort Lauderdale. Fort
And
Lauderdale is
think of
open
it
to
as,
everything.
and here's the thing about Fort Lauderdale. It's a lot of small communities that make up the
Right.
total of Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
And
Well,
a
I'm
lot
not
of
like
it
I'm in the
is
suburbs. Like I'm in the
unique.
suburbs of Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a suburb of Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, I'm part of Fort Lauderdale, but it's not really considered. My address is not considered Fort Lauderdale. I'm like the suburbs of Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Right.
The outer edge of it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Fort Lauderdale encompasses like pretty much all the different cities that come up to like Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
I mean, I got a little brief history on Fort Lauderdale.
Well, why don't you give them a little brief of Fort Lauderdale? And what I'll do, Debbie, so why don't you tell them a little bit about the history of Fort Lauderdale?
Okay.
And then I'll give them 10 reasons to why to visit Fort Lauderdale.
Right. The city of Fort Lauderdale is named for a Second Seminole War fortification built on the banks of the New River in 1838. That year, Major William Lauderdale, which is named where we got the name Fort Lauderdale, led a detachment of Tennessee volunteers south along the east coast of Florida to capture the Seminole. That's why we have the Seminole Indians that live here. It's the agricultural land and battle the inclusive Indian warriors. Altogether, 3 forts named after Major Lauderdale would be constructed. The first of the fork of the New River, because we have the New River, Fort Lauderdale. The second at Tarpon Bend, and the largest on the beach of the site of Baha Mar. And none of these forts survive now. So, but really incorporated on March 27th, 1911. So really 1911 is really when Fort Lauderdale became its, and it's encompassing approximately 36 square miles with an estimated population of 186,220. Fort Lauderdale is the largest of Broward County's 31 municipalities, I can't even say that word, and one of the 10 largest cities in Florida.
Yeah.
So that's just a little brief history of Fort Lauderdale. So basically, it started in 1838, but a lot of that part was no longer available now. It's not there anymore. But really, 1911 is when it really started, Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, well, 1911 would have been about the time what you see today.
Right.
Would have all been the groundwork starting in 1911.
Right.
Before that, it would have been all marshland,
little islands.
It would have been because you do got a lot of canals, and it would have been explored by a lot of the Spaniards for the earlier part of the state, because this is the only state that has not been captured by any other country. Only three countries actually owned it: us, Great Britain, and Spain.
Right.
And I can tell you with honesty, the only people that have territory that's legitimately smack dab in the middle of Florida is Spain.
Right.
In St. Augustine there.
St. Augustine, yes.
There's a small part.
I've been to St. Augustine, yes.
And it actually still belongs to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
They erected a small statue to Queen Elizabeth, not Queen Elizabeth. What was her name? Queen something. One of their queens.
Yeah.
But so I agree with you. That actually is good history on that.
Yeah.
So anything else on it?
Not so much. It was just a little brief history. It just said Fort Lauderdale is famous for its beaches, of course. Its art, its culture, and its events. from shopping on
Well-
Las Vegas and Las Olas Boulevard, which is where you have your major strip of restaurants and shops and hotels, and that's
Oh,
where the
Exactly,
place to
and-
be. It's where all the bars are, where all the shops, where all the restaurants.
And we'll exactly things that we'll
And-
get into, things we will be getting into as the show goes on.
Yep.
Top 10 reasons why you should legitimately visit Fort Lauderdale. And
Right.
I want to see if Debbie agrees with these top 10 reasons. One, weather. For the most part, the weather is absolutely beautiful over Fort Lauderdale. I mean,
Right.
most of the time you may get a little rain here and there, but for the most time you get sunshine and usually 80 to 90 degree weather or higher, depending on whether you're in
Right.
spring or summer.
January, February, March are really the best. A little bit of April, but only the beginning, or where the weather is not so hot. When it gets from like middle of April onward to like maybe September, October, that's when the weather gets really hot and it's horrible.
Right. Well, and the thing about it is, you basically get 3,000 hours of
3 hours,
sunshine
right?
a
Yep,
year.
exactly.
You get a lot of hours of sunshine down there in Fort Lauderdale, for sure.
That's correct.
Exactly.
That's right.
It's the exact opposite of where I live. So
You guys get all the rain.
we get all
winter,
this.
so
We
I
all get
can't
all the
help that, buddy.
clouds and the rain
Yeah.
And the fog. Don't forget
and
the
the
fog.
fog.
All the fog
Yeah.
now. Now number 2, and I would agree. I would agree with this after studying a lot of maps. See if you agree with this one, Debbie and Richard. You've been to Fort Lauderdale? Didn't you say you've been to Fort Lauderdale once or twice, or no?
No, Miami.
Okay, but Fort Lauderdale is like this. There is ample air and ground transport, including FFL, high-speed trains, water taxis, and free trolleys.
Yeah.
And based on what I'm saying, is that true, Debbie?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So, and so another reason there is plenty of, and here's the thing, another reason, it would be like you'd be able to leave your car parked at the hotel and you would have some form of transportation to get around.
Yes.
To
Yes.
Fort Lauderdale and the things.
Yes. Yes. You got a lot of people go on the water taxis, which is like really nice.
Yeah.
And I will tell you from the videos I've seen, you get absolutely gorgeous views of going down with the canals with the water taxis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, number 3, and this is probably true because I guarantee you I'm about tired of the yo-yo on gas taxes going up here. And that's lower taxes and less costly rates compared to other major markets. And I can actually tell you that is actually true. Even being, well, here's the thing. Believe it or not, it is compared to, it actually has some more affordability than compared to Tampa.
Right. Well, yeah, that's
compared
right.
to-
Yeah.
Compared to
West Palm Beach. West Palm Beach is expensive.
Pensacola is very expensive on certain.
You
Yeah.
just got to know what cities to go towards.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Correct. So Fort
So
Lauderdale would be
for
one of those-
example, if you tried to live around, let's say San Francisco, on the opposite side of the whole country, their buses are all free. You don't have to pay 1 cent to go onto any of the buses. Their trolleys are all free. They do not cost anything at all, and their transportation system doesn't cost anything at all. It's free.
right.
So
Yeah.
So yeah, and generally the prices that I've seen, now obviously your hotels and your resorts they're going to vary from prices to prices, but still compared
Yeah.
to
Also
Yeah.
to Los,
compared to looking at Miami and other places like Tampa and
well, parts of Miami.
Pensacola.
Not all parts of Miami are expensive. There's a lot of cheaper areas in Miami.
yeah,
It depends on where you're going in Miami.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Some of it is actually cheaper than some things in Miami.
Well,
And Miami itself also has
Dave,
areas
if you
that
look it up,
and
the funny thing is, Fort Lauderdale, part of it is counted as Miami because of
Well,
the metro area.
right. Well, yeah, but that's like the upper part. Yeah.
Yep,
yeah, it is.
it's counted as Miami. So,
Yeah.
Well, it's still counted as its own city too. That's
Right.
well, to a point, I don't know. Yeah,
yeah, it's counted as its own city. It ain't it is not counted as Miami. It
That's
is
what I mean.
counted as
It's called. It's different.
but the thing about it is, it's like Miami. It has smaller sections
Right.
that combine to make up Fort Lauderdale, and part of that could lean into Miami. I do believe Richard is right about that.
It leads into Miami, but it's not really Miami.
Correct. And I couldn't tell you offhand because it's been a while since I'd done this training because I completed this training. Oh, we lost Richard somehow.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully he'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Obviously, I do know. Well, number 4, it says they're green, which means I do know that Lauderdale is one of the biggest cities that committed to environmentally keeping things sound and clean. And
That's true. That's very true.
yes.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Craig, welcome in. It also is blue because it also, and I agree with this, it also has the 300 miles of just like Miami, it also has its waterways and 23 miles of Atlantic Ocean beaches along that.
Right, exactly.
Not sure what happened. Let me check on something with Richard. Is he okay?
Yeah.
I hope he's okay. I mean, I wasn't trying to say I hope he didn't get upset at something that was said. I was just saying.
Oh, I don't think so.
Because like Miami, it's got a lot of smaller parts, smaller towns, and he could be, like I said, he is right that it does lead. Miami and Lauderdale are right on the edge of Broward County.
Right.
So they're connecting each other, but they're still separated.
It's still separation because it's a different county.
Separated cities.
Yep.
And you look at the map. If you look at the cities, they are considered separated cities.
Mm-hmm.
They are not. Their governments are separated. Their city governments are disconnected. So, not that they don't overlap because they do pretty much, but
well, kind of, sort of.
Well, yeah, because we actually, the year that I went down to the Keys, me and my parents, we actually stayed in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, okay.
So I have been. I didn't think about it then, but I have stayed in Fort Lauderdale, and then because it took us another 5 to 8 hours to get down to the Keys. I mean, the absolute Keys, where you're 60 miles off the coast of Cuba.
Right. Yep. I've been to the Keys.
Plus then you got the long 7-mile bridge down there. Richard is right. Fort Lauderdale does sit on top of Miami.
But it's not, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Correct. Of course, then you were correct. It's got everything from the waterfront plaza to expanded convention. In fact, I just know that they have worked on their convention centers down there over the last several years. They've got incoming hotels that are fluctuating down there. Some even going up to as far as 800-room hotels. So I mean that area and the convention center district and the waterfront plaza it's
Well,
exploding, and it's
the
been
Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is where it's also a happening place. The Riverwalk
yes,
is where you have all the your arts and entertainment. Yeah, the Fort
yep,
Lauderdale Riverwalk.
of course,
It's the arts and entertainment district.
yes, it is. And of course, then you always got your happy hour, so you do got your
Like I
you
said, the
got your
bars.
trails of
All the
ales,
bars are down
you
there.
do got your bars, hidden spokeasies. Because it's being so close to Miami, yeah, it definitely has its speakeasies, which was during Capone's time in the 20s and 30s, speakeasies were the top of the things for Miami and Fort Lauderdale. So,
Hmm.
and they still have some of those hidden speakeasies today.
Yep.
Just not hidden because it's legal, but it has the history. What's
Yeah.
nice about it, it has the history of the speakeasies from Miami and Fort Lauderdale
There
and
is so
Fort
much
Lauderdale.
history in Fort Lauderdale. So much history.
Exactly.
Especially like during the 1920s. Fort Lauderdale was where it was at.
Indubitably. Mm. So, of course, and then you just said it yourself. There's the waterfront dining,
Yep.
which is all
Hmm.
that's all part of that waterfront plaza.
Yeah.
The dining is absolutely
It's all
amazing
part of
down there.
Riverwalk. It's all part of
Um,
Riverwalk.
mhm. I mean, I have actually driven past it, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Message from +13,524,488,510. You'll wish you didn't blinking face.
Mm. Now I got my thing is messages. So I'll have to make sure my Richard is okay later.
Yeah, I'm sure he's all right. I hope he's okay.
Um,
Maybe his computer just died or something like that, or maybe he had an emergency.
could be. Yeah, I'll make sure. Yeah, I'm gonna send them. But anyways, but then they also again, you brought the head on the nail. It's got unique menus, venues,
Mm.
museums, yacht charters, and things for groups of all sizes today.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
of
even
course,
outside of downtown Fort Lauderdale, you have your downtown you have your museums of discovery and science, which is
yeah,
really a nice place to take the children. It's
well,
a great
and
family fun.
you got 10 million museums. That's the thing.
Right, yeah. And then you have your Butterfly, which is not so much downtown, which is closer to me. Butterfly World, the Flamingo Gardens, and then you have the skate, and which is in Sunrise, which is close to me. There's the skate game, which people can do.
Right.
Yeah. And here it says the Museum Arts and Entertainment. Like I said, the Broward Center for the Performing Arts. That is just beautifully reconstructed. They made it so pretty.
Correct.
And then you have your Hard Rock Live. You have, like I said, the Seminole Hard Rock and Hotel Casino. You got your casinos. You got Hollywood, Florida, which is downtown Hollywood. Yeah, there's so many things in Fort Lauderdale. It encompasses so much. I mean, there's nothing. You will never get bored. There's always something for someone.
Yep.
For
And
families,
of
for
course,
singles, for whatever groups.
And of course, and the thing about it is, there's always great places to find information about Fort Lauderdale and where to go if you're not quite sure where to go.
Right,
And
exactly.
I will tell you this too: if you use a travel agent or a travel advisor, you're going to find them very knowledgeable on. Well, someone like me who, particularly if you find someone or you use someone like me who concentrates on domestic travel and will know about these spots and can point them out to you.
Right.
So, and that will be the sensational service. We'll make sure
Yep.
y'all get the sensational service.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, now we're going to take a little travel guide here and just kind of take a look around. I believe, if I'm right, this is probably welcome to Fort Lauderdale. Obviously, it's a vibrant tropical paradise. It's a 24 miles of beaches, 31 neighborhoods. There you go. See, 31 neighborhoods in the
Yep.
state in Fort Lauderdale.
Right. Right.
170 countries. I mean, you got 170 countries and speaking 147 different languages that all call Fort Lauderdale home.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's an unmatched mix of a kind of offerings of Venice. You could say, and I like this terminology. They a lot of it says it's the Venice of America. Well, if you do look at the way Fort Lauderdale is, and you look at Venice in Italy, Venice is mostly the waterways and the channels and the canals.
Right.
That's pretty much what a lot of Fort Lauderdale is.
Right.
Of course, Fort Lauderdale probably has a little bit more driving roads on it, but needless to say, but you do have the and of course you got to visit the Lauderdale Ale Trail, the Everglades. You are near the Everglades. Obviously, you got the different festivals that go on throughout the year.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
yeah.
Of course, then you brought this up. There is the Hollywood for the Art Walk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that district you were talking about.
Yep.
And then there's Coconut Creek, which is the largest. And you were bringing that one up, Debbie. And you were talking about the Coconut Creek for the world's largest butterfly park.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there is a lot of things to do, and
Yes.
Here we go. And this is looking at the map. This is everything spread out through Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
And these are the different things from dining to entertainment to musics to bars and speakeasies to here down here these flags. I believe those are your water taxis. If I'm right, I'd have to look at the map again. I believe those are your water taxis up and along the canals, which again, as you're driving up and down the canals and the water taxis, you get an unbelievable presence of beauty in what you see.
Right. Yeah, you could definitely travel right, and it definitely goes and shows you all the mansions and all the beautiful,
Right,
exclusive homes. There's even some
there's-
entertainers that live there.
Well, here's where we're talking. You got Pembroke Pines, you got Southwest Ranches, Cooper City, Davis, Weston, Hollywood, which is that's where a lot of your Coconut Grove and your things. You got West Park, Pembroke Pines, the Hollandale Beach. Those are your communities of Fort Lauderdale. That's and then like Richard was saying, just short down here, eventually you would run into Miami.
Went to Miami, right.
So I mean, obviously, here you're seeing some beautiful pictures. This is
Those
This
are the
is some of the
beaches.
things, the Fort Lauderdale beaches.
Yep.
This is like the Hotel Maureen by Curio.
Mm.
And you got your low, just where you can rent jet skis, boats, things like that, beach, surfboards. Hey, I can see Debbie on a surfboard. Dun, 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 dun.
No, thank
Get
you.
on a
No,
surfboard, Debbie.
not me.
I agree.
I
Listen,
don't even know how to swim, so no.
you would. I know how to swim, and you wouldn't catch me on a surfboard. Now, water skis, yes, I wouldn't mind. I would do water skis, but not a surfboard. Look, and then you got Dania Beach, which is pristine sands. You've
Yes.
got the Dania Beach fishing pier where you can watch the sunrise and do some fishing and some other things.
Oh yeah, you see amazing sunrises and sunsets. Amazing.
Particularly if you like turtles and you see turtles on the beaches, going to March to October. And this, again, what I'm showing you is things that, it's like a brochure that if you are interested, I can actually get it to you. I can print it or I can download it and we can actually, I can get it to you easily to see. Of course, I know you don't need it, Debbie, but obviously, you got charter yachts that you can do extra special. See, here you got the Riverwalk Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
And it's just absolutely things. And again, you've got the water taxis, which cruises between the lush palm lined banks of Fort Lauderdale, joining up sites as the historic Stranahan House Museum, the Fort Lauderdale Beach, huge Taylor Beach State Park. Obviously, single tickets to the ladder. You hop on and off all day. And obviously, the guides would be able to guide you through the day and tell you everything about it, from the Hollywood Beach to the home of Margaritaville and Hollywood Beach.
And Margaritaville is right downtown Fort Lauderdale, smack down there.
So you've got, again, Fort Lauderdale is one of those cities that I think is underrated. And though not as underrated as some, because you think about how many millions of people that go through Fort Lauderdale every year, particularly during the spring and the summer and early fall. I'm sure probably so, like anything in the state of Florida, as we get into the cooler weather, things slow down. See? Oh, parasailing. There you go. We'll put you on parasailing, Deb. How's that?
No.
Okay. How about wakeboarding?
Anything that deals with water, a big no.
Oh, well, I guess that leaves scuba diving out. I guess I'll have to take care of that one myself. That's the one thing I haven't been able to do in all the years that I've known how to swim and being a lifeguard. I never learned how to scuba dive. That's the one thing I want to do and be able to do is learn how to scuba dive. And here's some of your stuff of art and culture and entertainment. There's the NSU. Now here's some of the stuff that you were talking about down in that downtown Fort Lauderdale and in the Plaza Center. You got the NSU Art Museum, which is a slick modernist building collected of a huge
I went to NSU. I went there. I got my degree in NSU.
Oh, okay. And then, of course, you got the Mac Art Gallery, Fort Lauderdale. You got the East Los Olas Boulevard, which is one of the main arteries that does go through. I think that's one of the boulevards that is through the main Fort Lauderdale. I think, if I saw the map right. You got of course, you got the International Bella. Not even going to try to say it. Bellagio International Gallery. which illustrations of Theodore Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss. That's a museum where you'll see some of Dr. Seuss's work.
Yeah, we have tons of museums.
And of course, for you music lovers, then obviously you got the Blue Jeans Blues, you got the Funky Buddha, the Tortuga Music Festival, and of course then you got the Hollywood's Hard Rock Live venue as well.
Yep.
So I mean, for any of you guys that are very loving of music, there's a lot of festivals to check out down in Fort Lauderdale as well. Speaking of the Riverwalk Art and Entertainment District, obviously it is the Culture and Vultures where you'll find the Broward Center for the Performing Arts.
Yep.
See, now there you're talking about Broward County. Yep. Broward County does cover part of Fort Lauderdale.
Right. Yes.
And and it covers down into Miami.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
probably the borderline. It's the borderline of Broward County and Dade County.
Yep, Broward County and Dade is definitely the one, and I believe that's pretty much what Richard was trying to. I would assume I think that he was trying to talk about.
Right.
Because then you got the Bonnet House Museum and Gardens. So see, there you go. You got more gardens and more museums to see. The Art and Cultural Center, Hollywood, Coral Springs Museum Art.
Coral Springs, that's where I am.
That's what?
That's where I am, Coral Springs.
Oh, well, I guess I don't have I guess I don't get no excuse. I need to come on down there and say hello to you then, don't I? I'm only a few hours from there. Obviously, you got Public Art, Museum of Science and so you also mentioned that of the Museum of Science and Discovery.
Discovery,
particularly, it's a good one for families with little children.
Yes.
Yes. You know, and then again, you got the NSU Art Museum, Fort Lauderdale. You know, you got a ton of stuff, and then obviously you got your sports, events, recreation. You got the FLA Live Arena in Sunrise, the Anderson Sports Complex in Miramar, the DRV PNK Stadium, the Baca Amper Sports and Bar Grill, you know, which is on the Intercoastal Waterway. So see, you got good, again, there goes back to, you got things along the International Coast Waterway with things to see and do and cover all the way from sporting events to sports complex, which would be almost just about tennis, you know, a lot of sporting complex, the things that if you're really active and you love to do different types of sports, you know, there you got the sports complex.
Right.
Except that I wish they would just take out soccer, because I'm not a big soccer fan myself personally, but you know, I wish they would put, what they need to put in is dodging balls. So you can throw balls at each other. There you go.
I'm sure they have something there. I'm sure we have something around here.
They probably do. But yeah, so you know, and you can see the different pictures of all the stuff. You know, and if you're a big bike rider and a nature trail lover,
yep, there's a lot of trails.
I'm going to tell you, Fort Lauderdale has plenty of that. And of course, there's the Florida Panthers Ice Den, which is, I guess,
we got all the sports. Team. We got football, we got the hockey, we got baseball. We have all the sports.
Yes. So
and then, of course, you have your lovely alligators.
Yes, I recommend everybody get this as a pet. Please, make sure you get that as a pet. They are friendly. I can guarantee you they will. I guarantee you they will keep out intruders very quick.
That'd be true. That'd be true.
Or they will definitely keep unwanted guests out real quick.
Mhm. But no, thank you.
Who knows? You might get the one that'll play the jazz band, like Otis in from the Princess and the Frog.
Well, yeah, that's a possibility.
But yeah, you got to admire them though. I mean, there's something about the alligators that you have to admire about them.
Mm-hmm.
They're unique creatures. That's
true.
And for the most part, you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone.
True.
Of course, and then you got Pine Island Ridge, which is a haven for birds. So if you love walking through the nature trails and you love bird watching, or you like to just watch natural wildlife, I mean, there's just so much to do in Fort Lauderdale. And of course, here now, this is where I need Mike and Richard. Now we're about to talk shop. Shopping.
A lot of shopping.
Hey, Mike and Richard, where you at? We're talking shopping. You got the Sawgrass Mills.
And I'm 10 minutes away. I'm 10 minutes away from there. That's where Jennifer Caruso goes all the time for the Disney warehouse.
And neither one of you have hooked up with each other? Come on.
No. We tried. I mean, yeah, whatever. But yeah,
you guys will figure it out. But yeah, I mean, from what I'm reading, it obviously is a major shopping.
Oh my gosh, yes, and it keeps growing.
Wall-to-wall shopping from massive stores.
Yes,
and of course, I'm assuming it definitely has it. And of course, according to this, it's got pizza parlors to burger joints. So while you're shopping, you can eat while you shop.
Yep, that's true. A lot of restaurants, a lot of different types of stores. Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Have you tried any of the restaurants in that area?
Yeah.
Any ones that stand out that you can recommend for people?
I don't. To be honest with you, I don't really remember. It's been a while since I've been there. It's been a long while since I've been there.
Well, hey, that's understandable. And of course, you got more stores waiting at the Galleria.
That's cool. Yeah.
Which is more dependable high street clothing brands.
I've been there too.
That's all they need. Macy's.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is one of the Los Olas's favorite thriving mag.
Yes.
Driving, it's thriving main drags, top destination. You got Guy Harvey Gallery and Shop. Something
that I never been to.
Huh?
I never been to the Guy Harvey Gallery. I never been there.
How about Unique Treasures?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've gone anywhere. So.
Well, that's true too. And obviously you got, again, if you're looking at this and continuing on, you've got you got Dania Beach's historic, some more of historic art antique district.
Yeah.
Where you'll find unique treasures, unique different things, stores on that. So one of the top great shops in Fort Lauderdale is the Electric Boutique Fort Lauderdale, Axis Flamingo Groves and Gift Shop. So there you go. There's two. And the Yellow Orchard Fort Lauderdale, Boutique Wonderland Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, they have a lot of boutiques in Fort Lauderdale.
So for all you women that love to definitely shop, y'all better head on down to Fort Lauderdale right now and start shopping. Yeah. They got plenty of shops for you. Now I see why Jennifer loves shopping.
Yep.
There's plenty of shops down in Fort Lauderdale to do the shopping. And it's not just the shopping, but it's the view that it's some of the shopping strips that you go to, some of those are right on the Intracoastal Waterway and along that, and then just some of it is absolutely gorgeous. Aha, my area, food and nightlife. I'll take the
Yep.
nightlife. Woo, woo, woody owl, woody owl.
I'll take the food.
You take the food and I'll take the hood nightlife, huh? All right. Obviously got the Lona Coquina Tequila, which is a modern Mexican plate. I'm not sure I'd eat any of this though. Octopus tostada, a brisket, quesadilla, chef
God, I won't eat
drunken
any of that.
grouper. Yeah, I'm not. And then you got Padino's Cuban, where belly busting Cuban, got Cubano sandwiches, and obviously, again, you're near Miami, which has the influence of Cuba, and
Right.
and obviously Fort Lauderdale, because they're sitting right on top of each other. It's going to have that Cuban flavored, music, food, culture as well. You got the Rabbit Hole in Pompano Beach, which is that's what they don't need. No vegan ice. Well, if you are a vegan type, there is your a restaurant for you that has vegan plates called the Rabbit Hole.
I wouldn't mind that. I'll go for that.
Then you got the Screaming Carrots in Hollandale Beach, which is another great option, which is another organic place based. In other words, it's another vegan type restaurant,
Right. Yeah.
Based on plant food with Thai specialties. So interesting. Of course, then you got Steak 954 at W Hotel, which is the cream of the. Oh, that sounds good. Sounds like a place full steaks in that.
Mm.
So, as you can see, there's a lot to offer as far as dining, shopping, entertainment.
You got it all. You got it all.
Yep. I mean, I can take this into two parts, and we won't cover it all today.
Right. That's what I figured would be two parts, because there's so much to really explore with it. It really is. I mean, you have so much.
And here's just some of the examples of the neighborhoods Fort Lauderdale has.
Right.
You got Cooper City, Pembroke Pines, Miramar, Southwest Ranches, Weston.
Right.
Hold on. Let's see. Okay. You got Coral Springs, where our lovely Debbie. Clearly, that's where our lovely Mama D lives, somewhere in that area. Coconut Creek, Margate, Parkland, Dania Beach, Deerfield, Pompano, Lauderdale by the Seas, Sea Ranch Lakes, Great Fort Lauderdale, Hollandale Beach, Pembroke Park, West Park, Hollywood, Lauderdale, Lauderdale Lakes, Tamarack, North Lauderdale, Plantation, Sunrise, Davie, Wilton Manors, Oakland Park, and Lazy Lake. So, I mean, and that, so right there tells you you got so much culture, so much influence. That's why, and we said it earlier when I showed the thing, it said, or when I was reading it earlier, you got over 100 countries represented within the Fort Lauderdale, and 147 different type of languages that are spoke within Fort Lauderdale area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a culturally enriched, enhanced experience that you really, it's one of the, people, I've heard a few people and people in chat said, they say, what is there really to do in Florida? Well, this is why I'm doing the show. And this is why I'm starting with some of the cities. Last week, we looked at Tampa. hopefully you got a little bit of Tampa. And again, if you're looking to travel to Tampa or like places like Fort Lauderdale, eventually we're going to look at Miami. Eventually
Right.
we're going to look at Pensacola. Um, obviously we'll look at Orlando, but I think most of us know what's in Orlando
Right.
because of the big gigantic mouse and what it
Right.
brought to the town.
Right.
Look for the big mouse and you'll know you'll be standing in the middle of Orlando. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But again, what I'm doing is trying to enrich you guys and show you there are things to do in Florida, and a lot of people do know. But I'm just trying to make sure you guys have the options and understand just how much there is to do. Because as much as people know that what there is to do in some of these cities in Fort Lauderdale, you may not completely fully know just how enriched Florida plays.
Right.
I mean, because you're influenced by that. You think about the history that this culture is enriched. You think about the Cuban Missile Crisis. You think about so you got the Cuban and Haitian influence down in the southern part of Florida. You look at Pensacola, you're looking at the naval influence over on that side of Pensacola and the beaches and sea town type of. You're getting the sea type of things over there on the Gulf side, over in the Panhandle near Pensacola. You look at Jacksonville, rich history with French. French tried to settle that area, but they made the mistake of going down to St. Augustine, and of course, Spanish took care of that, and then they sent the fleet up there, and they pretty much chased French out of Jacksonville. Not that they settled Jacksonville, but they tried to get a foothold. Hello,
Yeah. Hi, Sherry.
Hello. Good to see you in here. Good to see.
Is this like you have like New York? They say is the melting pot. Really, Fort Lauderdale is really the melting pot.
Well, I would say Fort Lauderdale and Miami are the melting pot of the South.
Yeah.
But you can't take. I agree with me, Richard, and Mike have talked about it. I agree with them, both of them, fully. Just how enriched New York City's history is.
Yeah. If you look
at history, you're looking at that's where a lot of German, Italian, and a lot of those type of immigrants have come through New York. Down in the South, you're looking at the Haitian, Cuban, a lot of
the islands. A lot of the islands.
You're talking about Brazilians, Colombians have come through Miami, Fort Lauderdale. So that's where a lot of those immigrations have come through. Because you can look at every state and it's got its. If you look at it, because I can tell you from Michigan has the biggest population of Arabics. That there's no question. Dearborn, Michigan is the biggest center of all of, what you would call the Indian Islamic, and it's not. I'm not trying to use it in a bad way, but it's the Indian. Right. It's the Midwestern. It's the not the Mediterranean. What's the best?
I know, yes.
Yeah, I can't think of what would be a right
the word. The Middle Eastern.
Yeah, they were Sheree. But unfortunately, you look at the history of Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Much of its influences come from Cuba, Asia, Brazil, your Spanish-speaking countries. I don't know about that. That would be mean, but yeah. So, I mean, right there, that goes to show you just how much. And we could continue on Fort Lauderdale because there's
Yeah.
just you got images I could show you activity maps and images, and we probably will do that.
Yeah.
And there's so much. So obviously, we would love to have you back next week, Debbie, because we will probably
Sure.
continue. Um, we're going to go ahead and look at some of the images here. Well, Beaches and Beyond. Here's how much images you got to see. Hello.
Yeah.
And that's no telling, are they just one image or is it? I mean, here you got Fort Lauderdale. I mean, look how beautiful that is. We'll look at some of the images today and we'll go back next week on it. Here you got the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show. Here's the FL Fort Lauderdale Airport.
Yep.
You can get, I mean, you would have to definitely look at your things, but it does have an international airport, so you do got people that fly in from out
That's
of
where
other.
Yeah, that's my airport.
Yep.
That's my airport.
Obviously here you got Hollandale Beach. I mean, just look at, you can't say enough. And don't get me wrong, there are definitely a lot of beautiful beaches along the East Coast. Because I'm going to tell you, I know New Jersey has a bunch of beautiful beaches.
Oh yeah.
Virginia has Virginia Beach and some beautiful beaches along there. I know South and you've got spots in South of North Carolina that are beautiful beaches. Not so much. I won't. Georgia, you got some, but you got specific areas along the east that have beautiful beaches, and Fort Lauderdale and Miami are some of the best.
Yeah.
Here you have the Los. This is Olas within Fort Lauderdale. Again, here's one of those canals. This is why it's kind of. I mean, look at that. That's a canal going right through the heart of the city. And that's almost like Miami. Again, Miami has those type of canals that go through the certain points of downtown Miami as well.
Yeah.
So I can see where they both interlock. Here you have Port Everglades.
Oh yes.
Get Port Everglades back here. I mean, see here you look at it, and you got. I mean, this is just absolutely gorgeous. Look at the water, and that's the Atlantic Ocean there. I went, well, apparently that's where your cruises comes out of. There's a Carnival ship.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like it's either that's a Princess one. Now you got my curiosity raised to see which one is what. And then you got some other ones. That looks like an MSC right there. So, that's your ports for, your smaller boats and things like that to come in and out of the Atlantic. But then that's where that's Fort Lauderdale's port for its cruises. And obviously that's where Disney comes out of because I believe that's where the Disney cruise ships come out of port of is Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale and Port Canaveral, I believe. And of course, look at okay, time to go to the beach. I'm done. And then trust me, I will get Mama D on a surfboard.
Oh gosh.
I'll even teach her how to swim first.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, my dad was 60 when he learned to swim. Trust me. If he can learn, you can learn. Now he didn't learn too good, but he could kind of doggy paddle by the time he was through. So
well, I kind of sort of do that.
now this is a mural project again.
Jesus.
These are some murals. One thing I noticed about Fort Lauderdale is this everywhere in Fort Lauderdale, Debbie, where you see a lot of murals across some of the buildings.
Yes.
Is it prominent down there?
Oh yes, very much so.
But look at the beauty of the art. I mean, the colors are vibrant. And of course, there's my nightlife. Tiki bar. I'm good. Send me there. This is actually that's the cruising tiki. Okay, that's for me. I'm going cruising at the tiki. I'll see y'all later.
Okay.
You'll have to close out. You'll have to close out the show, Debbie. I'm going to the cruising tiki bar. Okay.
Okie dokies.
Not really. But see here now. Here you've got the Yellow Green Farmers Market in Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, we have a lot of farmers markets. Yeah.
And speaking of everybody's favorite train that Disney lost out on, but it does cruise through Fort Lauderdale because we do know this train dead ends in Miami, if I'm correct, which is the Bright Line.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's Miami or
Fort Lauderdale. It does go to Orlando. I think it does. It does go to Orlando.
It does. In fact, they're trying to build a line that goes right next to the airport for Bright Line.
Right.
But this was the line that was actually supposed to be built to access Disney Springs at Disney World. But it's the one that I don't know what happened. I don't know if Disney bailed out on it or Brightline bailed on it, or they just couldn't come to a complete agreement. But that is the Brightline that so and of course now look at this. Tell me how many people wouldn't love to have that kind of view on a water taxi. Now, see, I've taken a couple of water taxis. Yeah, and I honestly, I think that hurt them, Sheree, too, at some point. Yeah, Universal did. Universal's gonna they're gonna get the money returned on that one. That's for sure. I don't know if it went through, but I know Universal was trying to put money. Yep, straight to Universal. Disney's gonna lose out on that one. Here you got the Pelican Grand Beach Resort. Have you ever been by this one or? Yeah,
what is that? Yeah.
This is the Pelican Beach Resort. Have you ever seen this one, Debbie?
What hotel is that?
It's the Pelican Resort.
No.
Beach. I mean, it looks beautiful. Looks like it's
Mhm.
got a winding river. Ooh, I like that. That's relaxing. They do have a winding river. There's the little boats in the right corner. You
Yeah.
can see my mouse. You can see my mouse going
Yeah.
over where I just saw them. So ooh, that's gorgeous. And then look at the beautiful view and sunny. Unless you're on a 0 turn riding lawnmower, and then you get that bright sun. Speaking of which, that reminds me, I got to make a list I got to get for this weekend for work. um, here, here you have West Fort Lauderdale, and of course, Florida's known for. I don't know why they keep planting these palm trees in the trees. Florida doesn't have palm trees. I'm telling you that now. Anybody that believes that, I'll tell you another story too. And obviously, and this is Margaritaville uh, Hollywood Beach Hotel. That
Yeah.
looks beautiful.
Mhm.
And of course, yes, they do. Um, I will tell you that Fort Lauderdale is big on the pride
Yeah.
on
Oh yeah.
certain communities,
Big
which
time.
we don't
Big time.
we
Yep.
don't dive into, but they do support that.
Yes.
But regardless of where you stand on that, there's still a lot to do in Fort Lauderdale. Obviously, if you like your nightlife and your music, you've got entertainment. This is the Booze Garden um, down in Fort Lauderdale. So, I don't know
Yep.
if I go to a place like that because that's a little bit more too barsy for me.
Yeah.
But you do have the rendering of the Broward County Convention Center,
Mhm.
um, which is again Broward County is right at the top end of Miami. So to Richard's point, it does Miami and Fort Lauderdale rich each other, though it is two separate cities. And most people know it. I just didn't. I never realized how interconnected. I knew they connected each other, but I just didn't know how well interconnected until I actually started
Mhm.
studying Fort Lauderdale, and eventually, you know. And of course, this is to visit Lauderdale's attending Cruise World. Of course, I'm assuming what they mean by the Cruise World is that Fort Lauderdale is one of the biggest um, yacht boat things. Yeah. Oh, I bet you it was, Cherie. I bet you it was.
Yep.
Uh,
Yes.
Here you
It was
got
a great.
that's
I
the
love
family.
that library. I love that library.
And I think it's trying to freeze up on me here. Okay. Now I have to go back down and find out where I was at. Okay. That's what. And that was just one chapter. We have three. We got three full chapters of it. Um, so you did get to see some of it, guys. I am going to start wrapping up because I know it's Friday night. Debbie's got to make sure she gets some rest so that she can be fresh for Pete's show tonight at 9 o'clock. Um,
Yeah.
but hopefully, Debbie, you can join me again next week at 4:30, and we will continue part 2 of Fort
Sure.
Lauderdale. We'll go through more details of maps, and we'll see some more of the. Oh, nice, Cherie. So
Yeah.
next week we'll go through more of the, you know, we'll go through some of the maps about Fort Lauderdale. We'll even take a look at some of the videos. Um, we'll take a look at some of the activities maps. We'll see. We'll even see what Instagram has to offer on some of the pictures and that. So we will continue this on a two-part show.
Sure.
So hopefully we'll have Mama D next week with us. I would love to have her back on. You know, you're more than welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
There's
I was here.
somebody. Yeah, I'm sorry, Cherie. That's my neighbor's kids. No, they're outside. They're very noisy. Sorry about that, Cherie.
You know, get their kids when it, you know, if it's
The
a beautiful day, let them have fun.
they run around. Yeah.
But anyway, so if you'll hang on with me for a minute or two, Debbie, I'll be back 2 and 2, and we're gonna play my commercial.
Sure.
As what was it say? Gene, what was his name on Jeopardy? He said, "Be back in 2 and 2."
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the Cantrell Country Travelway. I'm the agent and owner, David Cantrell. If you're looking to travel through the U.S. national parks or maybe to the waterways from beaches to ocean cruises, let the Cantrell Country Travelway help you find your magical vacation.
All right, welcome back, guys. So, yes, if you are looking to travel, you'll find the links in the description box of the video. Reach out to me. I'm trying to share some opportunities that, you know, for me, it's not just about this. You know, whatever your idea of a vacation is, it's about relaxing, adventure, family, whatever it is, we can find you the right magical vacation. So reach out to me, whether via of email. If you go to the travel agent profiler page, you can definitely find my phone number, email. Just reach out to me, and we will find you that magical vacation. So again, thank you for being here, Debbie, and being a part of it.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm not quite sure what happened to Richard. So anyways, so with that, and it could be that maybe, let's see, 6 o'clock here. But thank you for coming in, Cherie. I know we had a few in and outs. Um, no one, Dave Stragan was the only one that really said anything.
Yeah.
But then I do know Pete is also
He's doing
a
a game.
sport.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what you do, you're gonna run over somebody. So we
Yeah,
do the
that's
best
true.
we can, and so for
Well,
those,
there's always a replay, so that's good.
Yep. Yes, make sure you guys catch the replay if you weren't able to watch the whole video. Hopefully, you'll find good information that you want. Reach out to me. I will get back to you. And with that, don't forget tomorrow. I'm assuming, Cherie, you're gonna join us on the Disney News tomorrow. We will have the Disney News, and well, then at 10:30 tomorrow night, we will have the Disney Cafe Chat, where we'll just have fun, chat, and talk, and have fun. So, again, with that, guys, thank you all for being here today, and may you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.